Hi, this is the walkthrough for the 23-24 engineering and design syllabus. Essentially, this is a living document that will sit in Schoology and be updated as we need to as we progress through the school year. Not a whole lot to say here. The beginning of this has a course overview. We are working out of what's called the E4 USA curriculum, and in actuality we are adding in a plus first component to this, which gives us some options to do some robotics work in class for students who are so inclined. So our course is all about hands-on learning in an active way, doing problem solving, collaboration, and communication. We are definitely a design course that is about learning a process for design and how to do so as empathetic engineers. This is the course objectives as they're outlined by E4 USA. There's a lot there. I'm not going to read these all to you, and it probably will make much more sense as we continue through the course. Each day you should bring with you a pencil, your calculator, your laptop. There is no text for this course. All the materials that you'll need will be provided to you either in print or via Schoology. So there you go. So you're gonna need the laptop definitely to do research and access stuff. We have nine, well, it's actually 8 units. There is no unit 7. That's an odd thing. We can explain that later. The first 3 happen before the exam. The last 5 happen afterward. We'll get into what each of these units is as we go through the course. Probably the most important part of the syllabus that you need is this bit about how do I make a grade in this class. Okay, so your final grade will be the average of 2 semester grades. The semester grade will combine 2 grades. One is your course grade, which will account for about 80% of your semester grade. And then the 20% will come from the semester exam. So that 80 and 20 get combined to make your semester grade for the course. That course grade comes from summative assessments, which are basically overviews of larger projects, and that's going to be 85% of that grade. Formative assessments, which come from smaller tasks, which are going to comprise about 15% of that grade. Everything will be clearly stated as this is a formative assessment. We're going to be taking a grade for it. This is a summative assessment. We'll be taking a grade for that. Typically, the formative assessments will be things that you're going to be contributing to, like a portfolio for, or it might be just documentation that you're doing for a task. Most things here are focused on process, so we're going to be more concerned about your process than your actual success or fail on a project. So you could totally fail a project and whatever you're trying to build might not work, but if you've done every step in the process to get yourself to something that's not completely working, you could still get an A on that project. Since this isn't a course with almost exclusively senior students, it's not so much true anymore, but we're going to treat it like that. There is no second semester exam. This implies that 100% of your second semester grade will come from the course grade. So there is not going to be an exam at the end of the year. There will be one in the winter. Keep in mind that assessments will be graded in such a way that grades reflect your understanding of the content being assessed, but we're also going to make comments on your report cards about your perseverance, your critical thinking, your ability to work creatively and collaboratively, and your willingness to show curiosity. So these are all important traits that we want to see in engineers and designers. You'll be also getting sliders on your report card that'll be things like your work habits, your engagement, your attention to detail, your organization, your self-advocacy, your timely completion of all your work. Okay. Attendance, you need to be here. Especially the fact that a lot of our projects are group projects and they're dependent upon you being there with your group. So the expectation is that you're here every day. If you're not here, we need, excuses as to why you're not here, and we need to work out how to make up what you're missing. This is what the student handbook has to say about all of that. I hope that we don't have to go down this road. I would like to just be reasonable human beings as we're going through this. Okay. Academic honesty. Don't cheat, right? Probably the biggest part about this is making sure that if you take something from the internet, from somebody else, from an interview, you cite your source, okay? And I'm not going to be all hung up about everything has to be perfect APA style or stuff like that, but you have to cite your sources. You got to know where things came from, okay? Because ultimately you're going to be documenting things that you are creating, and at some point you may want to use that documentation to say, hey, I created this, but you have to sort out what is your intellectual property from the intellectual property of somebody else. So you want your stuff to be respected, but you also want to respect the work that other people have done. Cell phones in our class are off and away. Because we are in a laboratory class, it is really tempting to be like doom scrolling on the cell phone instead of actually like paying attention to what's going on in class. Please be aware that my tendency on this is to walk around and encourage people to, return to what you're doing and to be more attentive to what the work that you're working on. If we do have to get into it, these are the written policies in the school handbook that governs cell phones. I don't want to go down this road, but I will if I have to. This isn't learn by doing class. It's gonna feel very different from a lot of your classes in that we learn through experiential ways. There is a need for like great psychological safety in here. So part of this in the empathetic engineering piece of this is just like be kind to each other, and like, no ideas are bad ideas. And be on top of your work and make sure that you're documenting and citing sources as we're moving forward. This will all make more sense as we're moving along in the course, and things will get adjusted. If this syllabus ever needs to be adjusted, which it probably will be, I will send you an email as to what the adjustments are, and we will update. The most likely part of this to be adjusted is the course schedule, the calendar here, because stuff happens. There are snow days or random Garrison Forest events that may interrupt our class, and we may have to have an adjustment in our overview and schedule for the course. If that's the case, then we make adjustments. I send you an email, tell you where the syllabus is being adjusted, and then on here I highlight what adjustments have been made and make sure that that is available to you on Schoology. That's it. If you have questions about the course, please ask. As we're going through, I think another important note is that my free blocks are C and E. Don't ever assume that I am where you think I will be, because I work in the art building, I work in Marshall Offutt, I'm the math chair, so sometimes I'm in the middle school, sometimes in the lower school. So if you want to talk to me about something, make sure that you make an appointment and like figure out where I will be when you think you want to meet with me. If there's something that I'm doing in this course that doesn't work for you, speak up. Or if I'm not doing something that you need me to do, talk to me about that. We'll have a discussion, we'll work it out, and we'll make adjustments as we need to. I want this to be a good experience for you, and I hope that we can do that this year. All right, so that's the overview of the syllabus. I hope we have a great year.